All right, let's get busy. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. Welcome to another Corksicle production. I am drinking Pete's Dark Roast. Is anybody familiar with Pete's? I wasn't able to get my hands on the brand that I wanted to, so I had to settle for Pete's Dark Roast, which actually I'm not that disappointed with. It's actually very good. Good evening. Welcome. If you're new, welcome back. If you're not new, um, got a lot to get through. It's been a couple of weeks since I put up a video. Um, so we're gonna be all over the place. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff I've been wearing, stuff I've been sampling. Got a lot of new stuff in from different hauls, and one very interesting little pickup from an antique shop. So yeah, let's just jump right in. What have I been sampling? Oh, scent of the day. Scent of the day is this Butte. This is Amber 114 or Amber 114 from Histoire de Parfums. I like it. I like it a lot. There's a good nutmeg note up top. This is it's a very dry amber. It has vanilla and benzoin and everything in the base, but I don't get a lot of sweetness from this. You know what this reminds me of? It sounds very odd, but some of you out there old enough to remember paneling walls that have paneling on them. That dry woody kind of a feeling that you get when you walk into a room, or maybe even like there's no cedar wood in it, but I don't know if any of you ever had a cedar chest, like a toy chest, or a cedar box that your mother put blankets in or something like that. But I get that kind of dry woodiness out of this. And that sounds strange, but I was thinking about it earlier, and I don't know, maybe I was watching something and saw a scene with the wood paneling on the walls, and that's what triggered my memory about this Amber 114. Very good fragrance, very good amber. Okay, that's the scent of the day. What am I sampling? I am sampling this beauty that I recently got turned on to. It's not new to anybody else, I'm sure, but this is Boy by Chanel, and I'm really enjoying this. This decant was full, and I've been tearing through it. Boy is very nice. I could see adding a bottle of this to the collection one day. It's not what I thought it would be. I don't know what I thought it would be, but it's definitely not what I thought it would be. What I'm sampling is, and this is something I wore this past week, but today I decided to sample. So a lot of you out there are into vintages and collect, and one thing I've noticed that's really good to do with vintages is to sample different versions of the same fragrance, meaning getting two different bottles of an older obscure fragrance, and in case one has lost a step in the top, or if there's any little differentials because of the age. So I wore this one day last week. This is Conviction by Omar Sharif, Conviction for Men. And this is a really nice fragrance. Um, it's it's a bit ambery and a bit spicy. Now there's no notes for this out there, none that I can find. If anybody finds notes for this, please don't hesitate to share them. But what I'm getting from this, and what I've kind of built in my head about what's going on here, is that there's there's a lime, cardamom, and like a lime cardamom vetiver thing going on here. Um, it's really very interesting. It's a spicy amber, but a little bit lighter than a full blown amber. It's really nice. Well, what I was saying about comparing it is that I happened along a mini of it, which that fragrance is obscure enough, but to find a mini of it is pretty cool. This is actually thrown into one of those hauls that I have coming up. So what I did was how cool is that? Conviction by Omar Sharif. So what I did was I put a little bit of this on my hand and I sprayed a little bit of this on my arm, and I can't, the only thing is this one's a little brighter because I put it on just now and I put that on a little bit earlier, but they're exactly the same. So both bottles are in pristine condition. I got really lucky with this one. But this isn't super duper old. Conviction came out in 99, if I'm not mistaken. But a very good fragrance if you ever run across it. I hear the Omar Sharif Pour Homme is very good as well, but that's a true ghost. Okay, I'm gonna go through some of the things I wore this past week. I kind of been shopping my collection recently, so there's some things that we had a little bit of a heat spell last week. It's since gotten cold, but I started reaching for probably the last time of the season, but I started reaching for some green stuff. And I wore this one day, and this is Jupe's What About Adam? And this is a great fragrance. I don't know if anybody's familiar with this, but tomato leaf. And this bottle is in great condition. The tomato leaf is like just so sharp and green and crunchy. I really love that fragrance. What else did I wear? Okay, I wore this, and I haven't worn this in a while. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this, but this is from a house called Marcel Burr, and this is Prince de Gales. And this is a really interesting fragrance. It's kind of barbershoppy. Now, the notes are pineapple in the top, pineapple, bergamot, lemon. And then there's a grass note in the mid with rhubarb. And the tartness from that rhubarb plays off of a hazelnut and vanilla in the base, and it's not overly sweet. It kind of walks the line. But this is a really, really nice that grass note in the middle. I don't know about grass, but it smells like a bright vetiver to me. This is a really nice fragrance. If anybody ever runs across it, I got it for dirt cheap too. Very surprising. So along with that, that hot weather we had last week, I wore. I kind of accidentally made a really nice layer. Now I don't normally layer, but last week I wore Rogue's Bon Monsieur, and this is a kick-ass fragrance. Really, really nice fragrance. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. But this is a classy. I really like this. This is really nice. So while I was wearing this, and I wore it the whole day. Sometimes I switch fragrances, but I didn't feel like it. Mid-afternoon, I reapplied this and rocked it the whole day. But for some reason, this caught my eye. Aramis's Tobacco Reserve, and I just put a little spritz of it on my hand and just went about what I was doing. And I was catching whiffs of these two swirling together. And believe it or not, this made an awesome layer. Like a 3-to-1. Like this was my scent of the day, and this was just a spritz I put on my hand. But every time I moved around, I caught this perfect combination of a barbershop, pipe tobacco. Oh man, I don't know. Does anybody ever do that? Has anybody ever accidentally, layered something and made, made magic? Well, I did it with that one. Okay, so then it started getting cold. Well, yeah, it started getting colder, and so I reached for something I haven't reached, and I've been trying to really shop my collection, pull for things that I haven't worn in a while. I don't have to say too much about this one, but this is Gucci Guilty Absolute. And I wore this and reminded myself how much I love it. It's a great fragrance. One of modern Gucci's best. Did I say that right? One of Gucci's best in modern times. Yeah, I think I said that right. Yeah, I don't need to say too much about that. I pulled on a really cold day this past week. I pulled for this one, which I haven't worn in a while, and it kind of takes a mood. It takes a cold day that you're in the mood for it. I love coffee, and nobody has to beg me to wear a coffee fragrance, but this one is true coffee. This is Carpe Cafe by Gallagher, and this is a not sweet black coffee. Well, I wouldn't say not sweet. It's a semi-sweet, um, but you feel like you're smelling a black dark roast coffee. This is really nice. Um, yeah, this is really very nice. If you ever run across this, Carpe Cafe, that's a good fragrance. Okay, I wore one of my favorite fragrances of all time this past week, and I've been recently thinking. I've had a conversation with Rich Mitch about this recently of kind of just starting to dig into my fragrances. Like, what am I saving? What am I saving these unicorns for? You know what I mean? What am I saving it for? I'm never going to sell my fragrances, so I need to start really putting my foot in some of these fragrances, and that's what I've been doing with. I think I wore this 2 days in a row. This is probably it's in the top 10 of my favorite fragrances of all time. This is Nino Cerruti Pour Homme. Got a little bit of a rigged setup here. This was a kind gift from Anuj at Enchanté. He gave me this bottle because it was kind of jacked up. I have a full backup and an aftershave of this, and I think I have some of the side products for this too. I think I have the aftershave balm and a shampoo, I think. But Nino Cerruti Pour Homme, just a goat in my book. So where else? Where else are we going? Okay, I haven't worn this in a while, and this is a really wonderful vanilla. This is D Squared's Potion. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this one. Um, I don't know why I kept skipping over this, but I wore this in some cool weather this past weekend. Really very nice. Really very nice. I'd really love to find the flanker to this. It's called Potion T squared Potion Black, I think. I want to say black, but it's a very hard flanker to find. And if anybody's familiar with it, let me know if it's worth the big dollar. Okay, a couple more that I've worn over the past couple of weeks, and then we'll jump into some of the new acquisitions, some of the new additions to the collection. This one I'm revisiting, and this is Chinotto de Liguria by Acqua di Parma from the Blue Mediterranean line. And this is a really bright citrus fragrance. And I just recently learned what a Chinotto is. Chinotto is apparently a small, dense, orange-like citrus, and it's tart and sour. It comes from, or commonly grown in Liguria, in Italy. So there's something new every day. This is really nice. This is really very nice, very bright, it wakes you up when you wear this. What else? I pulled for this, got into a conversation about it this past week with Rich and Ramsey, and I pulled for it, and I dig this. This is good stuff. This is Mon Numero 10 by L'Artisan. Really, really very nice. This time I wore it, I got a kind of a waxy, balmy, lipsticky vibe. I don't know why, but this one hit me different than the last time I wore it. This is a very good fragrance. I'd be curious about the rest of that line, that Mon Numero line. If anybody knows or can recommend any from this line, let me know. I've always been curious. I've never circled back to see what, I see Mon numero 9 is around, but I don't see any of the other ones around ever. Okay, so we've got stuff that I've accumulated over this past month that I haven't put up a video. Sorry. I just got this in today. I cut the box open just to save us a little trouble. What this is something that's long been on my list of things to pick up. Comes recommended, and I found it for a fantastic price. I couldn't resist. This is from the house of Jacques Fat, and this is a vintage version. I don't know how vintage, so if anybody does, please let me know. Green water, eau de toilette. And I'm not going to lie, I couldn't resist pulling it out of the box and giving it a sniff. And it smells phenomenal. It's a screw top splash, and it's got a plastic stopper in there. So this was whoever had this. Well, I know who had it. It was a seller. And look, there's the back of the box if anybody cares. It's a seller in Germany that I found this for, and you wouldn't believe how cheap it was. They really took care of this because this is perfect. The top notes. See, I can't even smell it with this stopper in it. This is one of the most. Wow, this is one of the most well-preserved vintages that I think I've ever bought. The top notes are so sharp and bright. I have to do a little research. I just got that on my hands. That's good stuff. If anybody's familiar with this, I'm sure you are, but anybody has any experience with it, share your ideas and your thoughts. Yeah, I can't wait to give that a run. It's been a little bit cold, but I might give it a run on a day that's a little more mild. But yeah, awesome pickup. I could not be happier about that. And I was talking about an antique shop that I went to this past week, and it's a right near my house. There's a coffee shop, and I wanted to try it because it's relatively new. But what I didn't know was that it's connected to a giant antique store, and the antique store has been there for years, but the coffee shop had just remodeled this side of the building and put a coffee shop in there. And from the coffee shop, you can go down into the antique store. It's big as a Walmart, really. And I found a lot of cool stuff. And my parents are, kind of into antiques, and I kind of getting some ideas for Christmas and things like that. But I ran across a huge stash of Avon fragrances, and this one is one that I don't have. I've started to pick up a few Avon fragrances, which they're not to be dismissed. They're cheapy from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and they're really very cool. This is the box, and you can see the price tag there. I paid $4.99, $4.95, or yeah, $4.98. And this is the packaging. I just wanted to. And what this one is called is, let's see if I got it, Island Lime. And now I had no hopes. I was just kind of enamored by the car, and it's kind of an old race car, like a V12 something or other. I really don't know what this car is. I'm gonna have to ask my dad. I had no hopes for the juice inside. I was just hoping it wasn't too rancid, you know what I mean? Because this is Island Lime, I want to say from the early 70s, maybe even earlier. I don't know. I'll have to do a little research on it. But in fact, this is perfect. This Island Lime, this may sound silly, but the lime in here, when I first put my nose on it, kind of reminded me of the lime, the lime note in Virgin Island water. This is fresh as a daisy, and it's a beaut. Just gonna go right on the shelf. Pretty cool, right? Put that right up next to some of my other. Oh, I got this one too. I've started to collect a couple of these chess pieces that Avon put out, and I found the king. I've been looking for the king for a long time, and I finally found it. This is actually, I think this is a fragrance that, oh no, Thai Winds. This is actually a fragrance that I have. I have Thai Winds, and it's in the shape of a peacock with its feathers laid down. I'll show that one of these days. I think I showed it in one of my early videos. But I've got the Night, which, you know, I don't know if anybody cares about this stuff, but I think it's kind of cool from a collector standpoint. And this one is, what's the fragrance that's supposed to be in here? Smart Move. Smart Move aftershave. I'd never heard of that, but yeah, so yeah, it's a cool little, you know, cool little collector's piece. Okay, let's see. Now, on to some of the things that I've picked up over the past month. I'll go through some of the more odd things, and then we'll get into some of the real goodies. Okay, I just got this in recently. This hit FragranceNet, or I don't know if it's FragranceNet or Fragrance Buy, this past month, and I kind of jumped on it. It was a little bit expensive, but it's been real hard to find, so I didn't want a chance that I, you know, couldn't get my hands on it and then try to get it in the aftermarket being so damn expensive. This is Dior Home's Parfum. Now, I have Dior Homme. I have an older version of Dior Homme, and I have an older bottle of Dior Homme Intense. And I always thought, oh, I like parfum versions of things, so I'm sure I'll like this. And I do. This is really very nice. This is a little woodier than I thought it would be. There's still some of that lipstickiness, that iris, but it's not. If I had to rank them, I'd probably still put DHI first, and this might be a second, I think, and then maybe the Dior Homme would be a close third. But yeah, so Dior Homme Parfum. Okay, let's see. What else? Okay, these were a kind gift out of someone special's collection, and these are just some odd things that I really liked, and I was gifted these. And this one is called Loaded. It's called Histoire de Eau by Maupassant. Is anybody familiar with this? It's got a great bottle. The bottle's like sits down inside this plastic thing, kind of like L'Envol by Cartier, same kind of thing. And this is a sweet ambery fragrance. But I found that it's only sweet in the top. And here's the box. The box is a little bit worse for wear, but this is, from what I understand, a cheapie, and it's a very good cheapie. Maupassant puts out some decent fragrances, and this is one of them. And I know this is marketed towards women, but I don't care. It smells good. Let's see, what else? Another marketed towards women. Now I have the masculine version of this, and I'd always been curious about this. This is kind of a legend fragrance. This is Dune for women. Sorry about that glare. This was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know what to expect, but this is a very pleasant surprise. I'm glad I added this to the collection. Let's see. Yeah. Look at that juice color. It's a beauty. Yeah, this is a really nice smooth amber. Very nice. I'm going to give this a wear when it gets cold. So I'm happy to add that to the collection. One more. Here's an obscure fragrance that I'd never heard of, but I'd been curious. I've been curious about it since it's an Israeli brand. And it's called, I never get the name right, Anat Fritz, and this is called Sora. And this is a very, very good fragrance. Is anybody familiar with this? Anat Fritz, and it's called Sora, Tsora. This is really very nice. Kind of a, kind of a, it's got a skankiness to it. I don't think there's any oud in it, but it's got a little bit of a skankiness to it. There's a little fruitiness up top. I'm gonna have to do a little research about this, but this is a really unique fragrance. It's got a Middle Eastern vibe to it, but in an odd way. It's a little fruity. It's a little airy. It's not dense, and the packaging is kind of cool too. Has anybody heard of this? If anybody's heard of this, and I'd love to know who the perfumer is. I want to say the perfumer is Geza Schoen, but that's probably not right. If anybody knows, let me know. Anat Fritz Sora, very good fragrance that I'd never heard of, and if I've never heard of it, then it's pretty obscure. I also got this. I've always been curious about this, and I think this is marketed to women as well. This is Nuit de Megève by 8 and Bob, and this is very nice. This is really very nice. I haven't really looked into much about this, but this is a spicy little kind of a woody, spicy, barbershoppy kind of a deal. It's really kind of nice. Nuit de Megève. Yeah, so I have a couple more from 8 and Bob, and they're all very nice. Okay, so where are we? All right, I ran into these and was happy to add these to the collection. They're just travel atomizers, and they're both from Russia. And one is Taif. One is Fortnum& Mason's Oud, Taif Oud Parfum, and the other one is just the Fortnum & Mason, the perfume. And these are two of my favorite Rashas right here. Yeah, I like it. I've heard some dissension about the Taif fragrance, but I don't care. I love them. I love them both. This is a very good fragrance that I got my hands on, and this is La Tessa by Xershov. Nah, I'm not turning this video off, so we're going to go with that mistake and amend it by saying this is Mask Milano, La Tessa. I do have a Xerjoff coming up, and I was looking at it. That's why I called it out. This is La Tessa, and I think this is an award-winning fragrance, if I'm not mistaken. There's a great champagne note in the top, and iris and orris root, and this is super high quality. As soon as you put your nose to it, you're like, wow, this is a very, very good fragrance. I don't know if it's a cold weather fragrance, but I wouldn't wear it in high heat, so I don't know. Gotta give that some more attention. Mask Milano. You've got a growing little collection of Mask Milanos. I'll tell you what, they make good fragrances. I don't know what the consensus is out there about Mask Milano, but I think they're pretty good. Okay, since I made that little mess up, let's go ahead and bring out the Xerjoff, the actual Xerjoff. This one is a little bit of a unicorn. Kind of popular in some circles, and there is a modern version, and then I think this is the earlier version of it. And this is Via Cabor 1 by Zerjov. I don't know if you can see that. This is maybe one of the better Zerjovs that I've ever tried. I know this is popular with my friend Raphael, and presentations are always like kick-ass. They're worth showing. Look at that juice color. Via Cabor 1. There it is. It's a beauty. It's not easy to get your hands on this. This is a beautiful fragrance. This is an absolutely stunning fragrance. I don't have a lot of Zerjov in my collection, but the ones I have are very good. This is maybe one of the best ones I have, and I only have like 2 or 3. But Via Cabor is a kick-ass fragrance. I know there's a lot of Zerjov haters out there, but I don't care. Okay, so we got a couple more to do, and then hopefully we're not running too long here. This is one that I've been waiting on for quite some time. Now I have the original version, and this is giving it away a little bit, but I have Russian Oud, the original, and it's one of my favorite oud fragrances. One of my favorites from this house. And this is the second coming of Russian Oud from Maurice Lador. Just take a second and look at that packaging. It's just a killer packaging. Really put a lot of work in. The lid is magnetic, which I think is really very cool. There's the bottle. This I wore this just a couple of nights ago, and nobody was home, so I just went ham on it and gave myself a full dousing, which was a mistake. I should have only just put, like maybe one shot on my hand, because this was going strong through a shower the next day and into the next night. Check out this bottle. This is a kick-ass bottle. This is a kick-ass fragrance. Now, I was discussing this fragrance with my friend Ramsey. And the one thing I had mentioned to him is that I think it's great that he's doing another Russian Oud, but I told him I hoped that it would be Russian Oud and then some. Russian Oud done with, some more ideas, like Russian Oud taken further. And I didn't want, another Russian Oud. I have Russian Oud. You know what I mean? I have the first one, so why would I just want a second one? You know what I mean? I would just go after a backup of this. I was hoping that this would be Russian Oud and something more, take the Russian Oud idea and do more with it. And I have to say he did. He knocked this one out of the park. This is an absolute home run. This is Russian Oud to the 10th power. He took it and made it even more interesting than I thought it was in the original. I still need to sit with this some more and get to know it more, but I've been blown away since I got it. It's just a fantastic. I think, I don't know. I don't want to say that I think it's better than the original Russian Oud, but it's more than the original Russian Oud. That, you know what I mean? Like, it's more. It's Russian Oud and then some. I've been over the moon by that Russian Oud too. Here is one that I just got in. Talk about being blown away. This is Zaharov's latest, and this is Arm. And there's another house that really does go above and beyond as far as packaging. Um, they, yeah, he goes over the top with the packaging. And the bottle is amazing. Now, I was, I was a little bit hesitant and a little bit um, reticent to get this. I wasn't sure it was going to be my vibe. Now, I like honey, but I kept hearing baklava gourmand, and I'm not necessarily an over the top gourmand. And check out this plaque, this plate that's on the front. This is not a sticker. This is a freaking metal plate, and this bottle is probably the heaviest of all the Zahara bottles for sure. Maybe the heaviest in my collection. I have a couple of other real bricks in my collection, but this is maybe one of the heaviest. But check out the detail on that. Now, when I got it, so expectations are always the killers. I don't know why I got myself thinking what I thought this would be. Well, my friends, this, I'm close to saying this is one of my favorite Zaharas. I'm close to saying this is the best Zahara. I'm not there yet, but I've been absolutely blown away by this fragrance. This, to me, and other people might say different, but this is not a true gourmand to me. It's a true honey fragrance, that's for sure. But beeswax and I want to say clove in the top. Um, I haven't really given this, I haven't really dug into the notes. I just want to experience this with my own nose and my own ideas. Um, this is a semi-sweet, like less than semi-sweet, in my opinion. Um, it's classy. It's like it may be the best Sahara yet. And I have probably 15 Zaharoff. I have even the earlier ones from the late 90s. I have them all, even the Z creators. And I was thinking about it the other night when I was wearing this. This may be the best one yet. Claude Durr has outdone himself with this. This is an absolutely amazing fragrance. And it's not what you think it is. It is not a true gourmand, in my opinion. If you would have I said this to someone recently. If you would have handed me this with no label on it and told me that this was the prototype for the Privé that's coming out, I would have believed you. Because this is, man, it is a classy, upscale, like no holds barred on materials. It's really so well balanced. It's such a beautiful fragrance. I can't get over it. I really can't. It's I have some favorites: Tobacco, Leather Tobacco, Evening Mystique, even the original Porum from '99. I have a lot of favorites from this house, but this is, I'm close to saying that this is the best thing that Claude Durr's done for George Zahara. It's that freaking good. Um, yeah, so, okay, one more, and then we're out of here. Um, I want to I want to say how much I appreciate everybody coming back, and I always appreciate the interaction in the comments. And I know I don't put out regular videos, but you guys always show up when I do, and I really appreciate that. Okay, this was a kind gift, and I believe this is the first from the house that I have, and it's kind of cool. This presentation is over the top, but you gotta see it unveiled. It's first time I saw it, I was like knocked out. It's got a light inside the box. This is such a killer presentation. How cool is that? This is Tiziana Terenzi, and their presentations are over the top, like really over the top. It comes with like these booklets. Comes with a couple of different booklets, and this is Chimera 20 2020, I think it's yeah, Chimera 2020. And I've smelled a couple of other Tiziana Terensis in passing. Um, but this is the first in my collection, and this is really very nice. This is a sexy niche fragrance. Like this is a date night fragrance right here. Kind of cool, huh? But the presentation's what just like puts it over the top. When you're fragrant. Oh, I didn't even realize. Look at that. I didn't even realize that this front gate comes down. Oh my god, how cool is that? That's like sometimes you like, you know, I'm not a, I don't necessarily. I mean, I like a good presentation, but I don't necessarily care for, over the top presentations like this. But it's kind of cool once in a while when you get it. Um, all right, I think that's everything, my friends. I will be back shortly. I have an idea for a video. I want to start doing some favorites of my collection. I've got my favorite coffees all set aside on this side desk here. And then I want to do a favorite leathers and any other suggestions y'all would like to see. Um, I want to do, a couple other favorite notes and show off some of the stuff I haven't shown in a while. Any other ideas for videos, hit me up. I'm open. Anything you can teach me about anything you've seen here, any suggestions of directions to look in, I'm always open to it. I really appreciate the interaction and comments. Y'all have a great night. Stay grateful. Peace.